Behind me you can see and hear the Basilica of St. Francis in Assisi. It's here that Francis is buried. He lived in this town along with his companion Claire 800 years ago. St. Claire is buried about a 10-minute stroll from here. And today people as tourists and many as pilgrims come from all over the world to visit this holy place. They come though not just to visit a tomb, but to remember a life lived in relationship with Christ, and in particular to notice what that life looks like. What are the characteristics of a life lived in relationship with Christ? And with Francis, often this life is reduced to a care for nature and a good relationship with animals. Well, yes, it was that, but much more than that. Francis lived an intimate and every moment relationship with Jesus Christ. And that spilled over into every moment of every day and night, into every encounter with every person and every creature. And that's the mark of the life of a saint. Sure, we struggle at this all the time, and that's probably why the Basilica is a place where the sacrament of confession is celebrated constantly. We struggle, we are weak. But the call for all of us is not just to look back at saints who lived 800 years ago, but to settle for nothing less than the life of a saint ourselves, here and now. Whatever situation we find ourselves in, we can be satisfied with nothing less than living as a saint. That's what we are called to, but that's also what we are created for. And we find our health and happiness in life when we are living in that relationship with Jesus Christ. Certainly failing often as we do, but turning back. It's the deep desire that we have in our hearts and our desire to follow that causes us to live as saints. As I prayed here at the tomb this morning, I offered a special prayer for our Christchurch parish of St. Francis of Assisi in Mairoho. Assisi, this town, was very severely damaged by earthquakes 20 years ago in 1997. Many of the churches and artworks damaged, but much of that has been restored, including the Basilica of St. Francis. But it seems to me that the real work of rebuilding here in Assisi has not so much been the buildings, that's sure been a visible sign of it, but individuals' relationship with Jesus Christ. And that's why this really is a place of great pilgrimage, because it is about not so much the buildings, but about our relationship with Christ. When we live that fully, sure, we build buildings that express that, but also we live in such a way, particularly with the poor and sick, that expresses this faith that is within us. So I encourage you maybe to look at the website of St. Francis of Assisi Parish in Christchurch. You can type that into a Google search and find the website. And there you can see the drawings of the very beautiful design that they have. This parish has done its homework. They have understood what it is to build a beautiful Catholic church. But most of all, wherever we are, let's heed the call of Francis and Claire from this place in Assisi, but all around the world now, a call that we receive from Christ to live as nothing less than the saints that we are called to be.